We've got our Saturday footage to go over. So yesterday's stuff, continuing on with our closed guard sprint. So definitely be looking out for that. As always, if you guys see some stuff that I miss, please shout it out. I'll be happy to go over it. Footage. All right, cool. Let's get into it. Whatever, dude, it's gonna be you and me in this first roll, but if you want to skip out, feel free. I'll just ignore us since that's the case. Yeah, Daniel joining us with Pat, Tyler, and Danny. What's up, Steven? So Danny on this 2-on-1 kind of Russian tie. Doesn't get much with it, as Tyler goes in for that single, though. Gets a good Sumigashi to reverse the position. 5 minutes. You know, I'm just practicing my arm bars, man. James pulling guard with Tony. So much happening right now. Yeah, let's look at how I ride this armbar through the stack. So, not in a good spot right now until I get that cross-facing leg up. And Jordan, you did a great job defending here. You kind of went for that figure 4 style arm defense. You can see I'm attacking your left arm. Your right hand is peeking through, trying to frame my cross-face leg. And then as you go to stack me, that's where, like, you didn't have to go too high. I didn't have to resort to like using my arms to get underneath you. What would happen there is, as you get to right about here, if I was up on my neck, I would try to reach through and continue coming out in the same direction we're going anyway. So now when I put you back down, I can focus back on the grip break here. And I try to do something that is kind of new to me. Maybe we could pinpoint it here. So I'm trying to get my leg over top of your grip, because you've switched out of the figure 4 at this point and you're on either a gable grip or a 10-finger grip. And I'm trying to get my shin, like my calf really, to your knuckle line, and then open the grip up that way with like some downward pressure and a pull at the knuckle line. I don't know how successful I was in that. It looks like you opened the grip and then wove your hand or your arm over my leg, putting me in that 3/4 armbar position. I still don't have a good grip here, though. I haven't gotten your arm isolated, and I guess I didn't think I was going to get that back, so I decided to switch out of there, and you decided to fake a nosebleed. Coward. Robbing me of highlight reel material. Let's see. So Danny's just been surfing on Tyler here, staying past the guard. James, you guys are in some hand fighting. And how did Pat sit? I gave the single leg and just decided to go down. Okay. So technically Pat can say, oh, I didn't pull guard, just gave him my leg and then sat. Tyler's doing a good job getting that elbow down as Danny sets up his katagatame from top half guard. A spot we've all probably found ourselves in that we don't want to hang out at. I think it's Steven and Andrew over there. And then we got Josh and Luke. Let's speed this up a bit. Here we go. Alright, so Tony's got to deal with James's knee shield. And Jason and I were talking a bit about that today. One thing I like to do here is not play from my knees, but instead play from, what you hear me calling a split squat position. Some people call it headquarters position. If you think about a sumo stance, like a sumo deadlift, not like way, way, way out there, but those wide feet, getting into that position from half guard, in my opinion, is a better pathway. And it may not be for everybody. Like, there are plenty of guys. Luke doesn't do that. Yes, exactly. Headquarters. Luke doesn't necessarily do that. He'll stay kneeling and work from there. I find, if I try to like force somebody's leg down and try to weigh on it and go into some of that like Khabib smash style passing that you've seen in the past, it doesn't always work for me. I'd rather be a bit more mobile and work to win the inside position with my leg that is in between their legs and a knee-elbow connection that keeps their knee shield, once it's out, keeps it from getting back in. If I find a good example of that, well, I mean, look at Pat. Pat's working up to it now. He's not working from the kneeling position. Right here, he gets into, they get into half guard, they start. He immediately goes standing and is kind of working for what I'm talking about. Now he's got Daniel flattened out, so he's not, you don't see the knee elbow connection at work. But this is kind of the eventual goal: get them flat to their back, flattened out, chest to chest, and then work, to get your legs around them. If you see anybody else doing that, I'll point it out. Josh, meanwhile, makes his way to Luke's back somehow. Luke goes for a sacrifice. Josh stays around the legs as Luke turtles up. Does he get that? I think he gets the. Okay, he gets the near hook in. Good slow chair sit. Nice. Goes up high with the leg. See if he follows through. So Josh is misaligned with him right now. That's the leg trap isn't going to be easy to get there, but he settles for the high ball ride. James coming up with that little leg push. All right, Tyler working some close guard. See how Danny operates. Oh. Josh left his arm behind there for a second, but didn't seem too fazed by the Kimura attempt. All right, what's Tyler doing? Let's see. So Danny goes to stand. Tyler takes this scoop grip on the leg, which I like to see. Takes Danny overhead. Almost gets himself into a leg entrance here. If you could just get the leg entanglement. And then it looks like he tried to settle back to close guard, but it was not working for him. Must get to the J point. Yeah. Someone's been watching some new wave material. Or Peters has just been bashing it into your head to get you to do it. What was that? Did Tyler break dance out of this? Just about. James with a nice sweep here. This is cool. This is kind of like what Peters was talking about last week in his role with Jordan. I like this 2-on-1 grip. It's like kind of like an inverted Kimura grip, like it's figure 4-ish. But with that, now Tony doesn't have a base on his right side. James knows what he's doing here, so he gets to a spot where he could start to get the turn. Tony can't base. James can take top position. Good scramble to north-south to avoid getting put back in guard. Near side Kimura grip. What happened as I look away? Ah, right on to the Darce with the mount finish. Hell yeah, man. That's solid. Oh, sorry, I'm just looking at Daniel over here now. Kind of in on a leg here. Looks a little low. Like Pat's knee a little close to slipping the knee line. I don't know if Daniel's got the knee bar at this point. Yeah, okay. They're just taking it slow. Nice dig on the leg, James. Doing a really good job getting Tony off balance, keeping him from progressing forward. We talk about wear partner. Ooh, Luke almost last minute footlock on Josh there. Oh, where's my... I don't know. I'm not sure what he's up to right now. Did you text him? Let him know you're thinking about him. So let's see what Danny did with this takedown. I'm looking right here. So maybe we don't get... Might not, or okay, here we go. Okay, so Danny just went up high, gets the front headlock. And now, anytime you guys do this in the training room, obviously I want you to do it safely, and Danny does that here. So just notice Danny's sitting backwards, but he's rolling over his right shoulder, not over the left, which is the side where Alex's head is. It's not gonna like crush Alex, but if like Danny sent this and, you know, put Alex on his head and rolling over his neck, that would not be a good time. So good safe execution of that move. Send for him. Send a Raven. Josh isolating Tyler's leg, getting the sweep with the Arimiashi. Looking here. And then trying to switch to the other leg. Gets the tap. Nice, man. What am I doing with Joe here? Oh, cool. Yeah. So this is, let's see, for... maybe this isn't the best example of it. I was going to say for Jason when we were talking about getting past the knee shield earlier, but here I'm already past it. What I'm doing is just a T Kimura pass where I set up a Kimura on Joe's far arm. I put my head to the mat. I do a nice roll over the side, and I get to the T Kimura position, like right here-ish. Since Joe has rolled towards the arm, I'm not wasting any time looking to take the back. But the reason you call it a T Kimura is for like a split second. You know, if I extended my body, we'd be in the shape of a T. But that is absolutely one of my favorite ways to pass half guards, because it leads right to the back, gives me a figure four. There are so many good reasons to use that position or that move. Daniel bull rushing past Luke's guard here with the front headlock. Danny just chucking Alex off. Daniel trying to work the like compression choke from Kesa. Luke doing his best to get the hell out of there. Now switching up to the 3/4 armbar. Daniel's in a great spot right now. Just got to fight the grip break. Excellent defense from Luke. That was sick. Pretty simple too. So 3/4 armbar, and for those not familiar with that, it's where rather than the body side leg being draped over Luke's torso, it feeds up through the loop of his arms and then rests next to the neck. So okay, Daniel makes a switch. The leg that comes through Luke's arms, I want that heel in the neck, just like Daniel's doing here, and then I want the ankles crossed on top of that. So yeah, Luke is trying to pendulum up here, and I bet he thinks that maybe his grip is, well, I don't know. I can't even say his grip is getting compromised. Daniel's pulling at basically the short end of the lever. Let me take that back so right here, he's pulling at the elbow, and that's going to be very difficult to separate the arms. You need to grip down by, the thumb and the knuckle line. That way, when Luke, maybe in the middle of making that switch, he could have captured the arm and extended it. But now Luke reinforces that grip, and then that little tiny shrug. Just watch how Luke rides around the leg, gets the head free from the crossface, and then now he's out of the armbar. Really good little maneuver. I absolutely hate when you guys use those figure 4 defenses on arm bars. Haven't quite worked on doing those yet. I mean, I'm trying. It's just not quite where I want it to be. Looks like Daniel got the tap though. And Josh with a triangle. Did you set this up from mount? Looks like you did. You seem to really be enjoying setting it up from there, which actually, I mean, I'm happy to see that from you, because I think you do a very good job winning top position, and you get by these guards, you get to mount, so you're not going to find yourself setting up triangles from bottom position nearly as frequently as you would from the time you spend in top position. So I like that you're adding that into your mount attacking arsenal. Joe with the Upa to get me over. So putting some close guard stuff to work here. Let's see what he does. One simple thing you guys can practice, especially as we're doing it in close guard week, if you really want to piss off your opponents, when they are doing the right thing and getting these bicep ties, just like Joe's doing right here, a great way to shut these down is by just taking both arms overhead. So see, Joe kind of pushes me up there. I say, he's not even doing anything. So I take my arms up overhead, and then it becomes very easy to reach across and get a cross-side grip. In this case, I'm using my right arm to get his right, or my right hand to get his right wrist. It's the easiest way. It's so simple to get bicep grips off of you. But he goes back to it, and he hangs out a little bit too long here, postured down. Remember, you guys, like when you're doing these, I'm doing a cheeky little maneuver there. When you're doing these standing guard breaks, you've heard me say it time and time again, I don't want you staying hinged at the hips. When you get up, you don't need to hold my biceps anymore. That's just to clear collar ties. When you can stand up and then hinge up at your hips, stand up straight. I can't grab your head anymore. There's no need for you to control my arms at the biceps. And all that really does is prevent me from reaching out. It doesn't prevent me from doing what I'm doing now, which is trying to take a scoop grip on his leg. I switched to this far side grip, anticipating him doing a log splitter pass. This is, I don't know. I like to do it this way, rather than using the same side arm. So if you think about If Joe's using his left leg and I use my right arm, it just moves my hips to in between his legs. It basically puts him back in a standing, an upright standing position, and takes my hips in between his knees. I want more than that. So I take my cross side arm, my left arm, to the outside of his left leg, like I'm doing here. And as I put tension on that, I take my hips outside his knee. It's the same exact thing we do with the headstand sweep, except the headstand sweep utilizes the same side arm grip. I know I'm getting really wordy here with it, and I can show you guys. I might be able to show you guys a little better in person. So remind me if you're curious about this. But the log splitter pass, the counter to that is this cross side grip, but the same outward hip motion. It doesn't really make much of a difference here. He starts cutting around the corner, so I just bail on it because I didn't want to be stacked on my neck. So a nice gentle ankle pick to put him down. Let's see, Daniel's in close guard now. He's working it from seated. Luke's looking to wrestle up. All right, good. Daniel keeps him down and gets a guard pass out of it. Nice. Into another armbar, looking again for the 3/4. Gets the arm splits, tries to go belly down. Looks like didn't have control over Luke's wrist though to keep the arm in a bad position. Tyler fighting for that single. Let's see what happened. Oh, nice. All right, scoops it up with a little outside ankle. Puts it in his pocket. Looks like he's going high for it. Not so when I encourage you guys to take the leg up high, normally you're doing it from the outside of the leg. From up here, I would just go in on this inside trip earlier. I don't think Tyler has the wrong idea with the inside trip. I would just do it a little earlier rather than doing this this little switch with his hands. Right here, inside trip. Take that right hand up over Josh's left shoulder and step through, rather than switching around like this, and then he just goes for it anyway. But either way, very nice. Nice little scoop. Oh, Luke making his way to the armbar. Armbar, leg scissor combo he loves to do. Or more really a figure 4 with the leg scissor. Steven and Alex, Daniel and I. Need to pull this man's pants up. Or tuck that rash guard in like Josh likes to do. Josh into reverse ashi, isolating the leg. Daniel was entirely too kind to me there. I think it was off of a front snap. Like right there, I started pulling down. He starts charging me, and he's like, you would have gotten it. Like, all right, I will take it. but I would not have gotten it. Steven digging a leg out on Alex over here on the side. Gets himself to outside Ashi. Little catch and release there from Steven. That was very kind of you. I'm doing my best to body surf on top of Daniel so I don't get put down. What are we supposed to tuck exactly? Rash guards into shorts. No, you're not supposed to. Josh just makes fun of me because I do it. God, I wanted that guillotine on Daniel so bad there. So I don't know. When this happened, I wasn't sure if I did this or if Daniel like sat out at the same time. But I like, it was purely from this hip control I had over him. Trying to crack him back down. But I guess I don't know if his foot slipped out, but I was like, all right, cool. That'll look fun on camera. So I've gotten Daniel here before in like this rear crucifix, and after a hell of a fight, been able to submit him from there. So I was trying to keep his arm under my control. He did a really good job here getting out from this. It was definitely a little battle. The game glitched. It did look like that. So yeah, once I was losing the rear crucifix though, I didn't want to deal with him just winning the scramble. I think that was set up from a Maki Komi that he hit on me though. Cole, that was really, really well timed. Talk about making a connection. Josh slowing down a bit, coming down to a kneeling position. Cole wraps up a body fold. And then opts to take the back with it. Could have pressured forward and put Josh to his back, possibly. But I like the option to take the back. Climbs up, has the arm trap, immediate attack on the strangle too. And looks like, okay, switches up to mount. I decide I don't want Daniel to pick me up and put me down, so I relent to the takedown. Jordan on a straight ankle here on Tony. All right, so not terrible. I think Peters mentioned this in the last stream, and Jordan, this is a good spot where you could try this leg configuration. So again, just speaking to the concept of hip position between straight ankles and heel hooks and the differences there. Heel hooks, we want our hips close to theirs. Straight ankles, we tend to favor more space between our hips. You could take your left leg, because you are not in like an outside ashi position, like both of, we see your knees here, your legs aren't outstretched. You could take your left leg, your top leg, plant the sole of your foot right on Tony's inside thigh of his right leg, and stretch him out that way, right? Push that leg away to help create space between your hips and his, thereby taking your arm down the leg nicely. Your arm is down the leg here already, so I think that's where this eventually, the proper setup for the eventual tap here. The only other thing I'd see, I think you know it by now, look at that giant gap between the chin and the hands. You're losing a lot of power here as you straighten your body out with your arms not going with you. You're just bleeding energy there. Again, you get to tap, that's great, and I'm happy. Just little things to tighten it up so you don't have to go so hard to get that finish. You should be able to get that much, much earlier. Ooh, Cole giving Josh a taste of his own medicine here with that mounted triangle attempt. All right. Good job getting him off balance, though. Cole has to recover. Doing all I can to prevent Daniel from working to a north-south choke, or a smother for that matter. What'd you do there, Josh? Big bridge. Nice. Got your hips out. Immediate attack on the leg, which you've been pretty solid at. I feel like anytime we see you kipping, you're kipping your way out of mount, you're normally right in on the attack, but I guess Cole was not too phased by it. Pat on a Kimura here on Brandon. See if he gets a sweep with it. There we go, and the tap. All right. Nice. Looking for more space there. Didn't see where I should have placed a foot on the. Yeah. I mean, play around with that one. It's. I think that might be one of the first ways I learned to do it, but it's a good option. What was all that? So working from 2-on-1 here. Over the back trip. He steps around, I just elevate. Okay. I think if Brandon was a little bit quicker on within that exchange, I mean, he had me in just about as much trouble. Right here kind of flanks me, and this is kind of a 50-50. Maybe my arm position is what gives me the advantage here. No worries. I mean, the seed has been planted. You will remember it in the heat of it at some point. We got Joe and Jason over there. Or no, Joe and Luke. Yes, sir. Checks out. What got Joe on the ground here? Okay, just pulls guard. Good control over the head. Looking for this Choi bar entry. It's clever. I don't do that move enough, man, and I should, especially against bigger opponents. Do you recall why you bailed on that, Steven? Was it just, did you just like lose the lever? It looks like you lost the grip, maybe. Either way, very inspiring. I need to do that more. I'm really taking my time making Brandon miserable here with this triangle entrance, only to quit and go to a rear triangle. Cole looking for the this is interesting. So this body lock grip, this little reverse TP choke. James is like, get off of me. Yeah, I feel yesterday was a tired and lazy day. Bro, after our first 30 seconds of a match, that was about the end of the day for me. I forgot what round that was out of the day, but that was That was definitely a turning point on the hour. I think... Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. So as Brandon works a single leg here, again, I commend you for getting these. I think you're getting them better than most people in the school right now. But this is a counter I don't use enough that, talking about Steven inspiring me, this is something Steven did a lot for a while. I feel like you were giving up your back in standing position just to work the Kimura counter. This isn't the same because I'm not giving up my back, but I'm just trying to work the Kimura counter nonetheless. So I have my foot inside to like a butterfly position, reaching over for the figure four, and then I don't want to slam him down onto the mat, so I'm fine if he's spacing out here. I wasn't sure if I made him face plant or not, but I just figured, all right, I'll take top position and make sure he's good. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite single leg counters that I don't do enough of it. Luke with the triangle on Joe, or maybe a triangle? Oh no, okay, just a strange armbar. Did you? I was hoping your face didn't slam into the mat. That was my primary concern. So Luke coming up over the back, rolling through on this. I feel like, maybe you did eat the mat a little bit. I'm sorry, man. It's never what I want to happen. Luke coming back to him. He's trying to dig this arm out. Yeah, so as Joe gets the head free, he leaves the arm behind. And now Luke has his entire body to work on Joe's single limb. Yeah, gets it out to a Kimura. Okay, and then straightens it. It's a good fight. Joe, right here towards the end of it, we see him posting with his right arm on Luke's leg. I think Joe could have gotten himself safer, or like on the path to safety if we saw his hips moving in this direction. If he started to cut the angle and try to get square with Luke again, he's still gonna have to get his arm safe. He'll have to slip the elbow out of the figure four, but staying down on his knee, on his left hip, was probably a poor decision. I don't know how immobile he was there though, so easy to say that from this point of view. Nice, Jordan. What about the lion? What flavor is the lion? Brandon on a straight ankle here. This was a really good entrance, Brandon. So you've set me up here and you get me way off balance. Like this is one of those principles that we talk about a lot. I'm heavily leaning my body over your head, like in this direction. But you've got your legs at play here and a free arm to completely move me. And in doing so, you make my left leg light and vulnerable and you keep it. I like the grip switch. Oh, my bad. So yeah, just caught you with your arm exposed a little too long, Brandon. Allowed me to set up the shoulder crunch sweep. Daniel looking for the Kimura to get Steven turned. Clay was doing that to us left and right when he was training. Common wrestler's maneuver to get somebody flipped over. Oh, Steven now looking for the counter. We'll call it a south-north choke, maybe. Daniel on the north-south, Steven on the south-north. Oh, this is that fun banana split variation I hit on you, Brandon. It wasn't even, I mean, it's a banana split. It was just a weird grip. But I'm working the standard crossbody position here. So I've got the lockdown on the right leg, and I'm controlling with a 2-on-1 on the left arm. So I'm working across the body, right hip to left shoulder. Brandon is bringing his left foot in to try to open that, put pressure on the lockdown. So as I pull my knees towards me, honestly, what I was looking for first, Brandon, was a heel hook variation here that I don't know if I've ever hit it, but it's a weird heel hook from a crossbody ride where, well, you relinquish the arm because you're gonna attack a leg. But I was initially thinking about that, and then it was like, oh, all right, whatever, I got it here. I didn't hug the leg, I just kind of like held your knee, and then turned up the heat a little bit until you tapped. How did Daniel get there? It's the Americana. Nice follow through on that, Cole. Here's my concern with this, how you did this, and I hope you can understand the dangers here. So right now you've reached under the leg, you're one arm in, one arm out. So that's triangle territory. As you come up here, this isn't terrible if you keep going, which eventually you do. James, I think, let me think through this real quick. So I'm trying to think if you could spin this for an armbar. That's a tough one for me to picture. Maybe, I don't know. From here, James, you're in a position to scramble and come around. But Cole has that leg under control. My primary concern here, Cole, is that your left arm it's doing. God, I'm getting all spun up on this position. I'm thinking it's between his legs, right? Because you reach over. Yes. Okay. So you reach over. I think, James, if you cut your angle around, you could attack or I'm sorry, you don't even need to cut your angle. You kind of just need to fall this way. You could attack a crucifix position or a rear crucifix, and then Cole would be in some trouble there. But I think the control he had over the leg, even though it was a little dangerous, is what let him get this sweep. So just be careful with that, Cole. Keep in mind, when you're putting yourself in a triangle and all that stuff. Ooh, it was a fun scramble with Steven and Daniel. No. It's gotta be it. Oh, bye, Jordan. I want to go back to this. I have an octopus fight next. Oh, yeah, okay, I see. The video is reversed. I'll look at the octopus fight in a second. Daniel coming up, initiating a good scramble, goes low single, head on the outside. But this gives Steven a good opportunity to hit a solid guillotine. I don't know if it would have. I don't know what Steven's grip is here. I'm sure there's a reason you took that leg down, but as soon as it does go down, Daniel knows that that's his path to safety with the rolling escape. See the octopus battle. So there's the sweep. Beat the crossface. getting elevation. Gold didn't want to go over. But you won that one. And come up to top half guard. Steven looking for like a last ditch arm in guillotine, maybe? I'm not sure. Fun round. Foot sweep Alex. Gotta be careful twisting out of those tie-ups. Don't want to expose your back to me for nothing. So same deal, trying that Kimura reversal on the single. I don't get it, but I do get a Kimura trap where I can circle around and take the back. So just another good example of if you do find yourself getting a figure 4 on an arm and you don't get your, plan A, just keep it. Just keep it and use it for something else. There, I don't even get my plan B in taking his back, but I work to an armbar variation where he does a good job here protecting his face from the cross-facing leg. My body side leg starts to come up through. I'm trying to work to a standard armbar, but he's just not letting it happen. So I work to that like shoulder senkaku variation that the new wave guys popularized. Get my leg behind the head so he can't really rotate out. I have the arm isolated. I can get the armbar. So I had to play with a few leg configurations there before I could get it. Got Tony and Luke. Get past. Just kind of powers his way through. Heavy collar ties from Alex, keeping me moving. I feel like I shoot a single on him at some point here. Oh no, okay. That's what that was. Again, just an example of that clinch position. If you Muay Thai clinch me, that's probably the takedown I'm going to try to hit. Onto the back again, looking for the armbar, this time without the shoulder senkaku. I feel like something happened here. I can't remember what. Switch to the 3/4. Nothing too fancy, just working grip breaks, I guess. What's going on over here? Got Brandon and Joe. Joe working the Tomonagi. There you go, Brandon. You got to get out to the side there. Good takedown from Alex. I like how he finished this, where he gets the single, gets the tight waist grip, and takes me backwards. I can't remember if that was the takedown Luke went over to start the class. Maybe it was. I don't know. If you guys remember, say something. Josh on Danny's back. Josh, take the, man, don't waste time, man. Get that, at least get both hooks in. So this kind of looks funny to me. You got one hook in there. When does it come out and why? Oh, okay. That's just your ankle. There, now you take it out. No need for you to take that out, bud. Look, why trap, same concepts. Which match are you talking about, Steven? I don't know how Luke or Mike may feel about this, but like, because I know that they like to use the high ball ride a lot, but they use it typically when I think they're losing the position. I don't think they default the oh, thank you. Yes. Same. Okay. I got what you mean. I think that they only really resort to the high ball ride if they can't establish their hooks or their body triangle, or if it is taken away from them. Here, you kind of opt for it. You had that second hook in. I'd rather see you use that and work towards the body triangle than move backwards to this like on your own. If that makes sense. Okay, now, fair. That being said, if you're working that position, then whatever, fine, work that position. I'm just going on what I'm seeing. You had both hooks, and then you like voluntarily took one out. Either way, you end up getting something here. So being real mean with the cross faces. Switcheroo. Work into that hand fight just enough to slow Danny down to prevent any more strangle arm interference. Nice, man. You feel stronger there. If your control over the upper body is sound, then you're probably fine. You need at least the cross side shoulder, right? If you're gonna highball Danny's right leg, you want at least the left arm under control, which you do have here. You got the control side. Just keep that in mind. I don't want you to like lose this position because you give something away too easily. I guess that's all I'm trying to say. I'm attacking a triangle on Alex here. It's that bottom side entry. And now as he postures up, it makes it very easy for me to hit that roll. He doesn't want to be in a mounted triangle, so he rolls again. Being a little lazy with my legs here. I need to be digging my heels down towards his back a bit more. Oh, that's what we were talking through an escape. I was talking about getting his left arm back in, connecting it with his right hand, and then now, yeah, tucking his head, looking out the hole he's making as he's extending his hands into my leg. Something a lot of you guys do that shuts down my triangle pretty regularly. Luke with the nice armbar on Tony. It's been like grayer than Ohio all day. How's it nice outside right now? Did all that clear up? When did Brandon get the sweep on Joe? And what did Brandon get here? Oh, they move. Okay. So Brandon goes out the side. As Joe looks to recover and turn, Brandon gets the jump on the scramble. Okay, cool. Then working from top half guard, relocating. Is that what you see is what you get? I take pride in figuring out the random acronyms you send me sometimes. Joe with another UPA on the day. First against me, now against Brandon. And Alex on my back. Got it. Joe riding very high on the mount right now, threatening the triangle. Brandon, you're almost giving it to him, man. Taking your arms down low like that. Oh, wait. I'm sorry, I take that back. Because you were closer to the triangle here. I thought, okay, I didn't realize your left arm was out. So now you're almost to 2 arms out, which is fine. So you're doing good here. Yeah, if you get Joe off balance enough to free that arm, get up, get up, get up, go out the back. There you go. I would pin that bottom leg and try to circle out from there. Now I would turn, I was gonna say turn towards him, but he's got the gift wrap. Joe doing a good job thinking ahead here. It was a good match, you two. Oh God. Watch me get tired. I felt so good about this counter. All for nothing. I wanted to puke after that. I think we both did. Oh, what a terrible shot. Let's look at that again. You know what? I'm not mad at that. It's a decent sweep single, just a terrible finish. I got way off balance there on the finish. Like, my head comes up high, you're pushing me backwards. I feel like the right idea and not the best finish on it, but I don't know. I'm trying to make progress on those sweep singles. I think you'll see me hit a few more of those in the latter half of this hour. So what we're getting into now. I think I do with Pat when he and I roll. God, I wish I kept that ankle. That was a nice leg entry, Steven. I could not get out of. So you're scooping on the far side leg. I probably think I'm more fine here than I am because I have my right leg blocking you, although it doesn't really do much. Because you have, let's see. Oh, I'm in like De La Kiva there. That's, yeah, okay. So not the smartest move on my part. So you collect, immediately take your entire grip over there. Great switch. Once you realize you have the heel, which you got pretty early on. This is an interesting grip you have. I knew something felt weird about it because it wasn't like just a standard heel hook grip. But get to that in a second. Once you have the heel exposed, you feel like you have it under control. You switch to the outside ashi position, which puts maximum braking pressure on this. But this is why this is so weird to me. You have like a gable grip, but you don't have... This is maybe more... I don't know. I felt like the heel hook threat, not so much like a knee bar threat. My leg is totally straight, but you're controlling like the shoelaces of my foot with your head, and then putting torque on with, I guess, your wrists here. This is almost like Mikey Lock kind of stuff, except that was more... Mikey Lock was from Cross Ashi. Yeah, that was good. Either way. Now you're trying to fall into a leg instead of taking me down. That was really... I mean, yes, I was, but that was more plan B than plan A. The takedown was plan A. Gable grip, but with the opposite wrist than normal. Okay, so I got you. So this wrist was coming over. You had the grip up here, but I felt like your head was doing some of the work in the torque there. Who's Cole smashing? Jordan? Jordan. Step up into mounted triangle, but Jordan is probably keeping his hands together, making this more difficult. Nah, dude, torque up. Did Alex and Brandon take each other down here at the same time? Let's see. Alex has the single leg up between his legs and the underhook. Brandon gets his leg back. Alex goes on the trip. Falls with him. Most importantly, falls past the guard. God, I almost slipped right around your guard there, right in the mouth. I like the amount of pressure you're putting on this triangle, Cole. Oh man, Jordan decided when he was going to get out on that one. He went for it. That was a really good escape from him, because it looked like you were really slowly grinding to a dangerous position. Most challenging because everyone that trains can see it coming. So yeah, for sure, and I think a lot of people are doing it now too. I know months ago Caleb said he wanted to start working on it more. Adding it to his arsenal instead of just like smothering and attacking arms. The cool thing about that move, with everybody seeing it coming, is that if you execute it well and controlled, it doesn't matter if they see it coming, and you just humiliate them because they know it's happening and they can't stop it. And that's the most fun part of jiu-jitsu for me. But you're right, like getting there and getting the finish is going to be difficult because they know what's happening. They're going to constantly try to keep you off balance. But as long as you work on your base through the whole transition towards the finish, I think you'll be good with it. Let's look at what happened here. So I like this arm weave that you do. One, it keeps your crossing leg up in a good, up in a high position, which will be important later if and when the grip breaks. But you give up base on your left side, right? And I think that's where Jordan finds his escape. You can see right from here, he gives you a good bridge in that direction. Now, you may settle down into this, but it's given Jordan, opportunity to get safe. Maybe a few centimeters were opened up there where he could start to like sneak out the back like he does here in a few seconds. a way you could maybe, let's see, a way for you to shut this down or maybe recover a little bit better. I'd like to see this knee moving up a little sooner, right? Like you've separated, like you've got his arms way up high, so you can bring your body up more and get to that figure forward leg position. Now, if you can establish that figure four and you do get taken off balance, right here, if you have a figure four set up, as you recover, you may not get, there may not be as much space created, right? So his opportunity to escape isn't there. And then if you do have that figure four set up, it frees your arm up from this configuration where you can then kind of move upright and directly attack his grip with your hands. So another alternative. I'm honestly, I'm just thinking through that one from what I'm seeing right now, but that could be another method. I would prioritize getting to the figure four as soon as you can, though, because then from there it's not too far for the finish. And if you get rolled, you're, you know, in a good spot anyway. So like how, Steven, you just decided to go back down, like, let's get these legs, and you're like, nah, never mind, I'll work something else. Where are Brandon and Alex? Brandon getting himself a Kimura here. What happens? Brandon, you're so close. Do you get it? Hell yeah. Killer, man. So love this. I like that you opt to stay on the Kimura here, because like right here, this is where you should know that you'll be able to finish this. When you get that hand out from underneath him. If you can't do that though, untangle your legs and work a Kimura trap. Like, definitely try to get the Kimura, which is what you did here. If that fails, that's what I was saying earlier. Don't let go of the Kimura. Just move to a different position with it. So, either way, just adding that in. This is a good fight. My only nitpicky thing, let's move this elbow a little closer to that elbow. So you're kind of riding high up in his armpit there. But it was enough to get it. Good stuff, man. I'm scooting in, trying to get underneath him now. Going for the legs, maybe. Pat working for north-south. Settling in side control, though. What did I try to do? Weak wrestle-up attempt for me. Cole, you're dealing with a guillotine now. But you're on a good side where it's not really threatening. And Jordan gets a sweep. Alright, more close guard work from a tired brown belt. Steven doesn't even care. Oh, and how slippery was the mat yesterday, man? I felt like all of us were sweating like it was the dead of summer. I couldn't get any bite on the legs at all. Luke with the low single, head on the inside. John Smith style single, who you guys should go look up if you've never seen. He would shoot these low singles. Scott John Smith, head inside the knee. Luke likes to drive through the shin, as we all know, kind of like hyperextending the knee. Another variation is driving across the knee to break it down. I think that's what we see Luke switch to here as Pat goes to sprawl. You'll see the bend in Pat's knee pointed out in this direction. Alright, we got the faded blue belt versus the fresh blue belt rash guard. Alright, Brandon James. Me and Tony. James looking for the shoulder crunch. Maybe. Let's see. That was Luke here. So Luke is in mount, I guess digging on a Kimura. And opts to leave mount. Maybe to dig a little bit deeper on that. But he's got really good control over Pat's shoulder line at first. Pat's having a hard time turtling up. Nice. And before Pat can turtle up and turn towards him, Luke follows him, gets a big step over to get the top hook in, and then quickly gets the bottom hook in before Pat can hide the hip. Like that's just kind of, I don't know if Luke did this thoughtfully or automatically. It's one or the other. But this is a spot where, you know, a non-black belt could not act fast enough, not be thinking ahead enough, and only get one hook in and completely lose the position because they don't have any control over the lower body. So Luke opts far side hook first, quickly gets that hook in as Pat turns down, and now Pat's in some trouble. Brandon trying the body lock pass on James. Which, good on you, man. I don't do that on James. I can't think of a time I have body lock past James. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try it, though. Get good at it, and then show me how to do it. James with the sweep from the front headlock, though. Now working to a Kimura. I like the time you're taking here, James. Making sure you have the shoulder line pinned instead of just trying to scramble for a grip that he could slip. Now working to the back. Going up top now instead of for the standard hook around the waist. Yeah, with that backside, with that leg out the back, though, it's going to be hard to set too much up. There it is. That's funny. Funny little bit of acrobatics there. Very down to her. Here's the thing, though. So now looking at it from this point of view, as fun as it is to be able to move us smaller guys around, you do so. Okay, you do get the choke there. All right. Then I won't ride you as hard here. The only thing I was gonna say is you don't advance your position. So you start this with one hook in and one hook out. And I guess I'm just talking lower body. You do advance to the choke, obviously, because you get it. But you created a lot of space and a lot of movement. I think you had I think you had opportunity to get this leg back in. You got the strangle. That's obviously the real end goal here. Just something to keep in mind. I'm not gonna say you may never even hit this position ever again. But you know. This is just, I guess, general rule of scrambling, right? Be in my next instructional, just, yeah. If you can put it out on VHS, I'll pick it up. But, yeah. On the bright side of this, you know, the rule I love to follow. When the neck is open, just take it, regardless of anything else. So, I mean, all in all, this was really solid. I just would have expected to see the leg position advance more, but you got under the neck, so grip it and rip it. I want to see how Pat transitions to the top here. Oh, I guess by tapping and taking top position. Got it. Yeah, Cole torrent it. Nice. That was like the furthest octopus sweep I think I've ever seen you execute. You like thread the needle from all the way down here. And Brandon, if you're still watching, the answer to this is trying to get the crossface, so trying to swim this arm back. Another thing I was doing with Peters was, if I can't get that, I'm driving through him to like keep his back flat, keep him from elevating his head or his hips, and then when I feel like I'm in a good enough position to handle that, I am stepping over with my, in this case, with my right leg, if I'm Brandon, to step directly into mount. But good sweep, James. I hope that's on your next instructional, your whole system. I wonder if anybody has ever considered just like completely word for word, shot for shot remaking any of the popular instructionals that are out there, and just like releasing it and seeing what happens. Be funny. See how well it sells. I'm not going to do that. Should have Josh do it. Josh trying to pass off like straight Danaher material, like Japanese words and all. I mean, I just thought about it, yeah, but like just now, dude. I ain't trying to do it. I don't know who to look at here. Tony's stacking me. Luke just broke Pat's arm. Danny is... Alright, ending the round in a mounted triangle attack with Cole. Carry on. Yeah, you could get my next instructional at Redbox. Pat and I on to another takedown war. I like your flow here, Pat. Uchi, and then right over to the front headlock, just back to back, no stutter. Ooh, is Luke getting fancy over here? He is. He goes for the ninja roll. Josh, that could be something you add in to your repertoire here, and I say that just because of your comments based on that high ball ride position. No, you don't land with two hooks in, you land with control over one hip and then move to two hooks if you can. But notice it's done from, if you're curious, done from a knee staple position, right? We talk about like knee cut passing, we talk about knee stapling, right? So this is where you have a leg up the middle. You're essentially in like a half guard, or I'm sorry, not a half guard, a 3/4 mount. You staple their leg to the mat, and then you turn away from them, like you're going behind them, and this arm goes down like you're gonna try to tickle their feet, right? Just big shoulder roll through, but you really want to emphasize going down, like taking your head towards their feet, not just like half-assing your way through it and trying to pull them over you. Really initiate a good roll, and then you can get the back exposure and go on to whatever you want from there. Jason with a nice mean body fold here. That's good. Pat tossing me around. What happened? So down on the leg, sprawls out of it. Front headlock control, flips me over. Back to turtle. Standing back up. Super tiring for both of us. I missed that. I want to see it. What I talked about with Luke? Or something you're doing to Steven? Answer quickly. I assume you're talking about Luke, so... Oh, no, you. Alright. Let's see, what'd you do? Working out. Okay, so... It's good, nice, quick go behind. Just be careful about the unblocked arm. I like your half Nelson here. Trying to get the turn. Looks really good. Very miserable. This is nice. Trying to foot wedge your way out of it. You already have the arm isolated up top. And I think you shut down that bridge from Steven because of maybe your head position here. It's hard to say from this angle, so I won't speculate. But you're keeping the head, or I'm sorry, keeping the arm. Solid, classic mounted isolation from you. I feel like that finish was like your... I feel like that's when like things first started to click for you towards like middle or end of blue belt for your mount game. It was just like all of a sudden we knew that if Cole got our arm extended, we were gonna have a bad time, and that never went away. All right, what is Luke in? Yeah, no, that was good. My favorite part of that entry was the use of the half Nelson to get there, and not even the power half, like, you know, where you're connecting your hands and pushing with your forearm. This is like folk style wrestling, basically. You taking him over with this, getting the turn, like right here. You know, that would be, you know, they'd be counting up points for a pin right now, in wrestling. But that was really good turnover. So Luke sneaks his leg in and gets to a cross Ashi from here. He must have bought James's cross Ashi instructional at the red box. Then I do a back step to play cross Ashi as well. Pat does a really great job defending it. So the way he's controlling my arm is actually making it super difficult for me to advance from here. Steven do to retaliate. Looks like it's to a guillotine, mounted guillotine. Okay. Oh, okay, and then Danny gets on Jason. Jason's back here. You know, he's just in a giving mood. So I'm trying to resurrect this position with Pat by controlling the toe line, or the knuckle line, as we talked about, I think, on the last stream and other streams, I'm sure. But he did a pretty killer job here of defending this through this part of the round. Kind of just decided to give up. Some good balance you had there, Steven. Cole was trying to take you over. Luke moving to the high ball ride. And notice, like, that's the another cool thing with this move. Right here, Brandon goes to try to open it up by taking his free leg and trying to open that position. What is a possible response from Luke is taking this leg and just throwing it right over that leg, because the knee is not pulled up towards the elbow and blocking it, so he can just move directly to a full lower body connection with two hooks from Brandon's attempts to open that high ball ride. He doesn't from here just because he's already on the neck and he knows he's got it. Brandon, I would go crossface instead with that arm. Luke is being a real jerk here. Getting all sorts of things. I think he probably finished that with the triangle, but he had some Kimura danger there, armbar danger as well, just due to the triangle. Step that leg out, Brandon. Step that right leg out. Big back step to like kickstand yourself so Luke can't just take you over. Yeah. Tough round. All right, Josh and Cole. Oh, I see. Okay. I was wondering what you were trying to do here, Josh. Cole's elbow was never really deep enough to be in any danger. Luke pulling to bottom half guard. Steven knowing better than to stay there. And Jason, if you catch this later, I don't think you're in the chat right now. Notice what Steven's doing with Cole, or I'm sorry, with Luke. Remember, like I was telling you guys, you don't have to just stay on your knees in half guard and top half guard. Steven immediately gets up, gets to his feet, and doesn't play that half guard game. I don't know what your intention is here, Steven. It looks like you're working to split squat, trying to get your knee elbow connection. Which is what Jason and I were talking about. God, I want to see you cut around. Now you're back to your knees in top half guard. So maybe not the best example of what I was trying to impart on Jason. God, Luke loves doing that, man. This is like from the time I knew Luke as a purple belt doing this kind of stuff. So diving in on half guard, taking you back, and then wrestling up. Like he almost hits the same move twice in a row. Whereas Jason is almost guillotining me. So another sweep singles shot from me here. I guess I do 2 in a row. So bad one, he slips out. I stand back up. Another quick one, hoping that he wouldn't expect it. And then I try to finish it stepping around and gathering that leg with my foot. I get him down. He's got a guillotine threat, but I know if I can keep his left leg from coming out, I should be fine. And he does a great job rolling through it and getting him out. So my attempt totally failed. Steven showing why we don't go to the back without blocking that tricep. Luke coming up, stopping you dead in his tracks with his good shoulder. Josh working not really a lock down position. Oh no, it is a lockdown position. So something Jason and I were talking about after this round and then later today with lockdown. You've got your legs, extended. You got your hooks working, everything. Maybe you're relieving shoulder pressure from Cole. At some point, I'd like to see you utilizing that to move and not find yourself using it to stall. Because it is a position that makes movement difficult for the both of you. But your avenue comes from your knee, really your knee movement. So you can like straighten your legs out and everything. But when you want to make Cole move, I need you moving your legs side to side like a pendulum, but also pulling your knees to your nose at the same time. So if you, let's see, in this case, if you take Cole in this direction, I think what that will usually lead to is like a shoulder push situation where you can then take your opponent to their back. If you take him in this direction, it will lead to underhooks where you can either come out you could just work like your half guard underhook game where you either come out the back if they don't whizzer you. If they do whizzer you and they try to push you back down, you can hit a roll through sweep or a knee tap double. But you could use that lockdown to get to those positions pretty effectively. You just have to really use it, not stay static there too much. Or you can just bridge real heavy and get them over. You know, the big danger there, I'm kind of half kidding, it obviously works, but the big danger is that if Cole's waiting for that, he's going to take a big back step with his leg and get safe. You got the jump on him here. He starts to try to ride up to mount anyway, which you don't let him do, but that does give him close guard, which maybe he doesn't even want to play with. Really digging on this arm. Another sweep single. Sorry, I want to see how my singles look because I always feel like they're terrible when I'm doing them. When I get to an angle, stand up with it. At least power through enough to get him down. Calf cramp? Were you suffering from one in this round? Oh, let's see. Dude, remember when it used to be every single time you trained? Double underhooks. Hips up. Into close guard. Okay. Didn't you discover that it was like you were drinking like the distilled water or like the like super purified water, and then when you switched to like, I don't know, regular spring water or whatever, didn't that like at least cause some of them to go away? You're all dehydrated, not getting your minerals. Luke trying to get to a mounted triangle in a nice, friendly way. I didn't want to say anything, but I'm going to say it right now. If you go back a little bit, how a little bit, how a little bit, how a little bit. Forearm pressure. Cole talking smack. Ooh, smother. Go to tap two. I still don't think I've ever actually smother tapped anybody. Try as I might. I think Josh has got me with one or two of those before. Osses in the chat. Oh, what happened there? So you make me go back and watch you smother Cole, and then you just let him get to mount, and then what? And then let him get to basically a crucifix, and then you tap to what? Psh. Just heavy shoulder pressure. You try to put your own shoulder pressure on. Cole, you look miserable. Let's see, last ditch. We got Luke going for the triangle on Steven, but Steven not letting it work. And then mounted triangle attempt for me, but Jason's arms are collected. Man, look how sweaty and disgusting that mat is. Hasn't been like that in a long time. All right. Good stuff, guys. Let's see, get Discord out of here. Cool. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys learned some stuff. And if you have any questions, as always, you know the deal. You can just let me know. Let Mike know. Let Luke know. And thank you guys. Appreciate you. We'll be happy to go over anything you need. I will be teaching tomorrow, so I hope to see you guys at class. We'll be going over some more closed guard stuff, so you know damn well I'm going to make you drill some standing guard breaks for a little bit, since that always works that way. You're very welcome, Brandon. What else? I don't know. I will. I'll put my curriculum together and make you guys work good and hard. So hope you enjoy. Get some rest tonight. And be ready for a good class tomorrow. If you're lurking, please go ahead and follow us. We appreciate the support. If you like what you're seeing, subscribe as well. You can subscribe with your Twitch Prime at no cost to you, and it really helps us out. So we appreciate the support. Subscribe over at YouTube as well, where you guys can watch this. I'll repost it for you. And I think that's about it. Danny will be teaching Thursday. Mike will be teaching Saturday, so you're going to get the full gamut of all of your Chucklehead coaches instilling you with our knowledge. So hope to see you guys back on the mats. Go trim your nails. Go do your laundry. Do not be stinky. And we will see you there. Take it easy.